Hey guys, I've been avoiding making this video for a long time, but it's time. The worst company commander I ever had in the Army. So, I left Fort Campbell, wanting to go back to Fort Bragg, and I had a bad attitude. Terrible attitude. Because of the fuel grade I got there. Take my advice, guys. Just let that shit go. Regardless if it was fair or not, just let that shit go. When I arrived at Fort Bragg, I had to battle a little bit to get into 1st Brigade. I was re-enlisted for it, but they tried to sneak me back to 2nd Brigade. But I managed to get into Red Devils when I was there. Started hearing things about my new commander, about what she was about, and I didn't like anything of what I was hearing. She just sounded like a stereotypical female. Not a good female, a stereotypical female. And there are a lot of them in the military that are stereotypical, and they are a problem. The good ones are good, but for some reason, disciplining a woman in the military means you're sexist. So, unfortunately, you see a lot of women get away with stuff, and it makes the good ones look bad. I was extremely worried when I got there. One conversation I had with her, she came up to me, and I can spot a phony from a mile away. I can spot a liar. I can spot a narcissist. I grew up with a narcissistic mother, so I know it so well. I can just look at you and see it. And I was terrified because I saw it in this woman. The way she would smile at you to try to get you to do something for her. She would use her charm to manipulate you, and I could pick up on that very quickly. Red Devils got on an intensive training cycle in early 2024 after her holiday block leave. So going in there, I was a designated marksman in weapons squad, but they pulled me to just kind of be a rifleman and a stand-in team leader if need be, and that's what I did. So I took my platoon sergeant's rifle, and we went out there. We were running a live fire. It was a simple live fire. Squad attack with a building. Do some bounding overwatch to the building. And then clear the building and prepare for a counterattack. Basic infantry shit. Even with Captain England's hand being held, she still managed to fuck it up. Nothing wrong with that. It happens. You're supposed to fuck up in training, watch it fail, learn from it, and grow. That's what you do. She tried to blame us for her shitty plan failing. The execution was fine, but it didn't work because she wasn't good. Then I thought I was overthinking it. We go back to the company, and I'm hearing NCOs from other platoons going, "Why didn't she take accountability? Why did she blame us for it?" And I'm across the battalion. I began hearing stuff about her. Here's a sergeant first class I know that knew someone that was in Italy with her. She was the first platoon leader in the 173rd Airborne that was a female. And she was just god-awful. I think they maybe wanted to help her and sent her to Fort Bragg instead of holding her accountable. And to this day, I am extremely angry at her chain of command for that because of how this later would affect me. She was promiscuous, like I said. She cheated on her husband a lot, one of which with a PFC in my platoon. And it was obvious. She made it obvious with the way she would flirt with him, the way she would talk to him in front of everybody. She did it in front of everybody just so she could kind of say, "Ha ha, I'm special, I can do what I want." Or at least that's the interpretation I got from that. I messed up during a field op, so as a punishment I got put on a permanent ammo guard. 2 soldiers on this ammo guard came up to me, or I went up to them and began asking, and they looked at me and realized I was real. I wasn't going to snitch on them. I wanted to hear what they thought of her. I wanted to know what my company commander was. Did she have integrity? And I made my estimation on her. I already knew she was a shitbag. They both looked at me and said, well, we did a land nav course with her, and she was retarded and got them lost. And during it, they began having an odd conversation. She asked them what they do on the weekends, and they told them their hobbies, what they do on the weekends. And she said, I'm usually at my apartment, and just so you know, it's always a party. I fucked up as an NCO. One soldier told me a lie that set me off about her. And I was talking shit about her. Which, if you watch my previous content, you'll know what I did. Accepting defeat, I just decided to take the article, admitted what I did, because there was also some other crazy accusations. I threatened her life, and I said, no, it's not what happened. I went to go apologize to her sometime later, and I apologized to her, and she just went off on me, saying, are you effing kidding me? Then she began insulting me and then told me that I'm going to get a field grade because I threatened her. I said, ma'am, I didn't effing threaten you. At that point, I just lost it. I was like, oh, hell no, I did not threaten you. Then she tells me, well, there's sworn statements that say otherwise. So I go to Sergeant Major to get my first reading. The charges were F that B word, and that dumb B word doesn't give a F about us. And I was like, Sergeant Major, are these the charges? He said, yeah. And I thought he interpreted that I was offended by the charges, but what he didn't know at that time, Sergeant Major Frame, is she literally lied to my face and said that I threatened her and that that's what I'm getting charged with. And the 15-6 concluded, which is correct, that I didn't threaten her. So I'm like, what the hell's going on? I go to TDS, right? First thing I do is I put my packet down. I say, excuse me. I talk to one of the attorneys. I say, can you go through my packet and see if there are any statements in there that say I threatened her? She gets to the bottom statement, says, not one says you threatened her. That's key for the video. Remember that. After my Article 15, I was demoted from E5 to E4. And then the day after, I was initiated for a chapter with an other than honorable discharge recommendation, and I lost it. I also had a lot of issues with my horrific, pathetic platoon sergeant. If you're watching this, Anthony, fuck you. I hope your wife cheats on you, you fucking prick. And I attempted suicide and ended up in the hospital. And in the hospital, she kept using the staff to harass me, or try to use them to harass me. My psychiatrist said, we're concerned about you. It sounds like your leadership's targeting you. And she just kept trying to manipulate them. At the time, I was still cool with Anthony, but I didn't know what a manipulative son of a bitch he was. I thought he felt bad about my attempt, and I tried calling him. Well, she tried to say I called them ridiculously late at night. And what was weird about that is I was in a hospital where we had a bedtime and we were escorted to bed. And I was allowed to use the phone all the way up to when they said can't use it. And I remember hanging the phone up before going to bed. And what makes this even weirder is they were in Louisiana. They're at least an hour or two behind us in time zone, meaning if it's 10 p.m. in North Carolina, it's going to be 9 p.m. there. So she was saying I was calling them late at night. And I had told... it was the PFC that was screwing her about what she was doing. And I guess he wasn't a bad dude. I still like him. He's a good dude. I guess he confronted her about it, I'm assuming. And she just decided to manipulate them into thinking that I threatened her and kept telling them that because she was mad that I was exposing her for being who she really was. Captain Graziano, who was a horrendously shitbag officer in behavior health, kept saying comments like, well, it's okay that this is happening to him because he did threaten her. I had enough. I refused to talk to treatment team anymore in the hospital. And at this time, I had attempted my second suicide attempt by overdosing. And I was in the hospital. And I had enough. My own life was meaningless because I called her a mean word. Not to mention, right before my article, I would go to behavior health. She would go in and talk to my behavior health therapist before me. And I'd also like to say something that I found out recently. Talking to people who are still at Fort Bragg, they remember this. I was not the only soldier that she went to behavior health and attempted to violate HIPAA rights. She had 11 sworn soldiers write sworn statements about her. She was going to behavior health and trying to find out what soldiers were saying because she was paranoid that they were talking about her. And she was willing to violate HIPAA to figure it out. And she had a lot of inappropriate relationships with therapists in the behavior health. They all knew her by first name basis. So when she said something, it was her word over mine. So I had enough. I got IG involved, and I had them investigate it, which pissed her off because I got her in trouble. But she did it to herself. I refused to go back to the Robson Behavior Health Clinic, and my psychiatrist in Womack said, "Hey, we believe you. Your IG investigation found you founded, as in my side's correct." She lied through her teeth, and she was stopping me from getting the treatment I needed, which is what led to my second suicide attempt, in my opinion. And she was, every time I went to behavior health, it was your commander. Like, shut the fuck up and listen to me. Can you ask how I'm doing? Multiple times, my care team contacted Battalion Commander Lieutenant Colonel Wu Xin, the Mongoloid himself, one of the biggest retards in the United States Army. Denied me moving because he was scared that if I moved, she would be seen as a problem. See, England was the first historic female in the 173rd platoon leader, so they enabled her. They were scared of looking bad, so they used me as a scapegoat. Colonel Wu Xin's gonna fucking pay. You understand me, you fucking Mongoloid? You think 'cause 2 years have passed that nothing's gonna happen to you? You're gonna fucking pay, you fucking big-headed Mongoloid. Mark my words. And they denied me moving units, even though it was strongly recommended. I attempt again, and they decide to scapegoat me again. So I decided to fight it. I decided to take a separation board because I had the time in. Always take a separation board when they try to screw you. Don't let pathetic leaders whose wives probably cheat on them, like Bruce Anthony, destroy your career because they have emotional problems. Stand up on your own 2 feet and you fight to the end, and you never stop fighting. You don't let them take you down. Never. PDS kept trying to manipulate me, and I hope this video reaches the likes of Pete Hegseth, that if I took the separation board that I was going to get nothing than honorable, and that was a complete and utter lie. They lied to my face, and they knew I knew regulations. So when I told them, no, I'm going to the board, they start screaming at me, telling me that I'm not even joking when I tell you this. They told me I could end up a homeless heroin head if I didn't take this chapter. I am not even joking. They literally looked me in the face and said I could end up as a homeless heroin head. That was the lengths they were going to make sure I got chaptered. TDS is part of the reason that there's a suicide epidemic in the Army, and that's something else that needs to be addressed. You defend soldiers. So I told them off. I said I'm going to the board. I wasn't taking that shit. I started getting character witnesses, one of which was a field grade officer. I got 17 character witnesses, and I remember there was this guy named Sergeant First Class Worley. I was like, yeah, 17. He's like, what do you mean? I'm like, oh, I got 17 character witnesses. And he looked at me. We chatted for a little bit, left. Next day, I go into PT. We're sitting in a little area, and the platoon and I had a good relationship. I was on good terms with the platoon. They supported me, and they were very good to me, and they really did care about me. So there's this one dude named Silva, and we're just sitting there, we're talking. He asked me, "What's happening?" Oh, so I opted for a separation board. He's like, "What's that?" Well, if you have 6 years in instead of getting chaptered, you can get a separation board. So you think you go beat it? He's like, "I don't know. We'll see." Snyder, he was a team leader. He gets all mad and shit, busts out the bathroom door because he heard it through the bathroom door, and runs upstairs. What the fuck's going on? So PT's over. I'm in my room. They were kind of letting me do what I wanted, so I was taking a nap. They didn't need me. It was like, hey, go stand by on your phone. So I had my phone on ringer. My phone rings. I wake up, And it's Tanner Dahlberg, the Army's biggest beta male, who really should fight me and be a man and finally settled his beef with me. Stop being such a little bitch. Said I need to come upstairs and get me see the platoon sergeant in the PL. So I go see the platoon sergeant in the PL, and Anthony's doing what he normally does, acting like a hard ass, even though he's a literal bitch. Not talking to me, not saying a word because I'm worthless because I went to behavior health. Let's see here, give me a second here. All right, here we go. Sorry for the delay. So, we're standing at the office and I get called in the office. And I remember people were saying, you should probably record her, you should probably record her. And that's what I did. And I waited to release the recording until after I got out. This was in one other video I made. I'm going to play it here.
Yeah, so not unclear or somebody.
Okay. It has been brought to my attention that
I hate her voice so much.
Your separation process has been you've been freely telling people about it, whether it's staff duty or random people in your platoon or the company. So I'm going to limit that. So your commander, giving you a direct order that you can only discuss your separation process with your chain of command, meaning squad leader, platoon sergeant, platoon leader, me, first sergeant, the battalion commander, etc., all the way up, and your defense, or any brigade legal asset. Does that make sense?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Do you have any questions about it?
Say that one more time. This one right down.
Okay.
Shit. That's broken. Am I?
Okay. You are only allowed to discuss your separation process with your chain of command, so squad leader, platoon sergeant, platoon leader, first sergeant, company commander, if you want to go higher, battalion commander, sergeant frame, brigade commander, anyone in your chain of command, and your defense attorney, and any brigade legal asset that you would think. So you can go talk to Peter Ulrich, you can go Gavin Hall Legal, you can go to your civilian lawyer. You should not be speaking to staff duty about it. You should not be talking to Private Silva about it.
Specialist Silva, you stupid bitch. He was a team leader.
Does that make sense?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Also, been brought to my attention that we're drinking a lot of caffeine, doing things
The
like
woke
this.
army,
Is that
ladies
true?
and gentlemen.
Yes, ma'am.
What is the purpose behind it?
I just put this out. I drink caffeine all the time.
I'm a motherfucking
It's
grunt.
1,000 milligrams, and I'm hearing about it.
I drink
I'm a little
caffeine.
concerned,
Get over
not
it.
only for your safety and because it is
My
like a high-risk
safety.
behavior,
My
but
high-risk
also
behavior.
It's not healthy. So I would please ask you to watch your caffeine intake. Let's not go over 1,000 milligrams. I think that's probably a safe limit. I think that's a very high limit. I'm only saying this because we care about your safety and your health.
We care about your...
I know that it's bad in the long run. I don't know.
We
the
care about
ramifications
your
of, like,
safety.
If I take 3,000 milligrams of caffeine, I don't know what happens to you. Let's limit it, please. Not in order, just like me as a person caring about you as a person.
I care so much.
Okay. Yeah. Please just be careful. Okay. Do you have any questions?
Oh, that's it, ma'am.
Okay. Then I don't need anything else. I hope you have a great weekend.
Thank you, ma'am.
So a couple things about that recording, right? No, she does not fucking care about me, and I'll tell you why. When I split my fucking arm open with a K-bar and I was in the hospital, I refused to let my leadership come in, but she showed up to the hospital. And she didn't show up because she cared. She wanted to manipulate everybody around us to say that she cares, to show that she cares. I let her in my room, and the first thing she says is, just because you're not good at this doesn't mean you won't be good at other things. Bitch, I was an NCO for 2 years. I had 3 Army Achievement Medals. First one I achieved when I was a PFC for my performance. There are guys who served in LERP units who I'm talking to that are offering me things that I'm not going to mention on the internet. If I wasn't meant for it, why are they doing that? You think they're giving you those offers? You think they're going to give that to you? Nobody fucking believes in you. But beyond that, she was also cracking jokes about how my orthopedic surgeon that's supposed to literally reattach my hand is young and he's inexperienced, trying to get inside my head and mess with me. So, it's obvious she has borderline personality disorder, undiagnosed. But it's obvious she has it, and people are scared to handle her. So, for what I brought up before, first female platoon leader in the 173rd. Second of all, she had no respect for NCOs or junior soldiers achieving NCO positions like a team leader, like Silva. Fucking dude was a specialist. Replaced me, became fucking an assistant gunner and a designated marksman for the platoon. No respect for him and what he fucking earned. Why was it a big deal that I was talking about it? You know why it was a big deal? Because the battalion fucking hated her. When I was at staff duty, people knew who I was, and then we would talk about her. We would talk shit about her. That's how we passed the time at staff duty. A lot of times there wasn't work to do. I would just hang out with staff duty and talk shit about her because I fucking hated her, and they fucking hated her. I'll never forget what a staff sergeant once said from Seco. Oh my God. You know what I hate about this dude? I said, "What's up, Sergeant?" When we were at Green Ramp, getting ready to jump into JRTC, I just remember seeing BCO dudes sucking her off. Meaning they were brown-nosing her. Why were they brown-nosing her? Well, if they pissed her off, they would probably end up like me. That's why. But also, why? She gets angry when people talk shit about her and immediately try to destroy them. Because she can't take accountability for herself. She needs emotional validation before anything else. And that's her fucking problem. She continued to use behavioral health to talk to me. Every day when I went to behavioral health, every time I went to behavioral health, it was, "Hey, your commander wants to tell you this, your commander wants to tell you that." And I would get screamed at by my therapist, Dr. Maurer. And if you're watching this, fuck you, you liberal faggot piece of shit. And I just was done with it, you know? Like, no one cares about me. You're supposed to be here for me, be fair and impartial. He would bully me, make fun of me. I scared the shit out of that dude because I really considered beating his ass. I was at a breaking point. They almost broke me. And let me tell you something. If they did, I'd be in Leavenworth right now because you don't know what the fuck I was willing to go. So at the board, they call Christopher Emco, my commander, Sergeant Anthony, and Dahlberg. Dahlberg's thing for me, why I deserve to be separated, is because I'm weird. Dahlberg couldn't be taken seriously. He always had to mess with you and fuck with you. Yet whenever I caught him alone in the parking lot, which if Dahlberg didn't pick up on this, I'm gonna share something with you. So Dahlberg was on leave and he was called into the unit to go get some counselings so that at my separation board he can express why I need to be separated. And I caught him in the parking lot, and I'm gonna tell you guys something. I had plans of attacking him and beating the shit out of him in that parking lot. But I did it. For a couple reasons. Why didn't I attack Tanner Dahlberg? The reason is, that dude would have crumbled like a bitch. He would have ran inside, got the MPs, and got me sent to jail. And then it would have made my situation worse. And also, he loved acting like a hard ass, but whenever I caught that little beta bitch alone, oh my God. The look of fear on his face, the shaking. As Emco would say, he was shaking like a bitch. I told him, I looked that little bitch right in his fucking eyes and said, "You don't gotta say good things about me, but don't you dare fucking lie about me." That son of a bitch dragged my name through the mud with no integrity and no thought. Just, oh yeah, I'm gonna progress my career but destroying other people's careers. Yeah. Tanner, if you're watching this, you and I need to settle this score. Stop being a bitch. You understand me? Stop being a fucking bitch and get in contact with me. My Instagram will be down in the link below. Hit me up and we can settle this in person. Alright, moving on. Emco. I went up on Emco before. So I actually have something on MCO. So I posted a video, the worst first sergeant I ever had in the Army, and I got a message from a well-known staff sergeant within Red Devils about MCO. So let me read it off, and then I'll tell you what MCO did. Damn it, so many fucking DMs on TikTok. Come on. There we go. I'm not going to read the full message because this person has requested to remain anonymous in case somebody knew him, as he was going to comment on my video. On your MCO video, in case someone knew me, but fun fact, he wasn't going to re-enlist unless CSM Frame frocked him the first sergeant. He was a bitter crybaby. He also cried to CSM Wildman about a situation where a soldier got potentially hazed and an EO rep stepped in, and MCO cried to that EO rep, to the sergeant major, like complaining, hey, this guy's sticking his nose in my company. That's his fucking job. We had leaders who literally thought they could do what they want, and when they were violating integrity and Army regulations, when they got caught, they could just go cry to sergeant majors, or like me, hold the formation and talk shit and hide behind a formation like a little bitch. He was a dog shit first sergeant and he knew it. He expected to be frocked to first sergeant, like it was gonna happen, and then cried like, I'm not gonna re-enlist unless you give me what I want. Where the fuck are we falling as an Army where we take a dude like Christopher Emco and put him in charge of a fucking infantry company in a legendary battalion? Like, are you fucking kidding me? He was a dog shit E7 with a first sergeant rank. And he said a lot more in there, but if I read and reveal what he said, it may reveal who he really is, and I do not want to fuck him over. But just so you guys know, in 1st Platoon Blackheart, I wasn't the only one that had issues with MCO. I know he was your platoon sergeant and you saw some good in him, but he was a fucking pussy and a dog shit leader and a coward. That dude would get you guys killed and find a way to make sure it wasn't his fault. That's the type of leader he was. And that's exactly how he spoke about me on my board, saying that I threatened to kill people. Brigade Major opens up my fucking packet. Doesn't see a single sworn statement that says I threatened my commander. So he goes, when did you go to MLC? And MCO replies, he didn't go to MLC. So they excuse him from the board. England comes in. She is not professional. She's like, oh, I hear about him talking shit about me at the CQ desk all the time. Okay, where's the counselings? If I was talking all this shit, why didn't you counsel me? Where were the counselings at, England? Then my platoon sergeant gets called. Now let's talk about this little fucking midget piece of shit right now. Bruce Anthony. Still being a piece of shit first sergeant in KS 1504. Made some videos about that. He begins to mock me, say that I was acting like a private. Listen, if you're going to separate a guy, yeah, demote him. He's acting like a private. We can have him be an NCO. All right, cool, demote me. You can't say he's acting like a private and that's why we need to kick him out of the Army. Speak with vocabulary and professionalism. But no, Anthony's still the stupid little fucking hood rat wannabe he was in Michigan. Hiding behind a fucking gang like the little coward he was. Because he would only talk shit to me with squad leaders around. And just like Dahlberg, that dude would shake. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I thought about ripping Anthony's scroll off his shoulder and shoving it up his fucking ass. I could have done it. He's a bitch. He knew I could take him in a fight. But I chose not to do it, guys, because life's about choices. He began mocking my suicide attempt at the board. He was trying to say that my board, which was for unstaffed performance, meant, oh, I have a mental health crisis. That means I'm a bad soldier. That means I'm weak. You're not allowed to do that in today's Army, even back in 2024. That was not allowed. So he was screamed at and permanently excused from the board. After the board, they recommended separation. I began going to brigade. There was many attempts to have me stop talking to our brigade commander, Colonel Schruger. And on top of that, I went to Brigade Sergeant Major, and Brigade Sergeant Major said, why do you have your packet already? Brigade commander hasn't signed it yet. Did England forge a signature on my chapter packet? I don't know. Did she go in his office and hand it to him? Not using the chain of command? I don't know. But I eventually gave up and decided to leave the Army. Because I knew as long as I had an RE3 code, I had a way back in. And right now, I have a way back in. I can only go to the National Guard, though. Right now, active duty and reserves are going to deny me. But there's a will, there's a waiver. I already have a field grade willing to write me a letter of recommendation. So, in conclusion, she was tactically retarded. She took no accountability for her actions. She demanded emotional validation before accountability. She was a habitual liar. She was promiscuous. She couldn't keep her legs or her fucking mouth closed. And that begs the question, what happened to Captain Taylor England, now Hokanson? Well, here's what happened to her. As I was getting chaptered out, she had property books. I looked in the group chat and that there's change of command layouts. I said, what the fuck's going on? Do some change of command layouts. Oh, by the way, here's something good. I was so done with these fucking pussies. All my out process stuff, I refused to do it. I said, you're going to have my commander proxy clear me. So I printed up a stack of papers about this thick. And while she was signing over all the property, I had her sign that packet. I made sure she was very busy with paperwork. So she leaves and she becomes a commander at the Jumpmaster School in Fort Bragg, and that's where she is currently. And she's been there ever since. Here's what happened. When you're a commander, you must have 1 year of key developmental time. And then some other things, and you can progress to major. After my board, coincidentally, she was fired at 8 months. When that happens, your career's done. She'll never promote. The most she can do is stay in 17 years and hit RCP and leave the Army with no pension, no nothing. Maybe some disability. And knowing her, being the crybaby she is, she'll probably find a way to get 100% disability. Almost forgot, going back to the board. My old platoon leader, Sean Martin, anytime someone was attacking my career, I noticed it was most likely due to the fact that she was sucking his dick. She went to West Point with Sean Martin, who's currently a commander over in the 173rd. And got him to lie at my board, say that he counseled me for something, said that I smoked a soldier, even though soldiers were always getting smoked in BCO Red Devils. Nobody seemed to care. But when I do it, I'm a weak piece of shit because I go to behavioral health, so I have to be bullied into suicide and I have to be kicked out. But other people can do it too. So when that happened, luckily the board didn't buy anything Sean said. And also, Sean Martin, if you're watching this, I told some members of our platoon what you did, and they're not happy. I'm going to tell you right now, if you're wounded in combat, people are probably going to leave you behind to die. And you would deserve it. You're a disgrace to your family. You're a fucking bitch. And if you ever want to fight me, hit me. When I got out, my old soldier from Fort Campbell lived in Ohio. So it was... He invited me over, and I stayed with him for a bit when I got out of the Army. And at this time, my medical records were released to me, and I looked them up on my phone, and I got to see my chapter assessment. Some people thought I was lying until I showed them my chapter assessment. That chapter assessment, which is pinned to my TikTok and also on YouTube, link will be down below. I lost it, guys. I'm not going to lie to you. I gave up. When I read that chapter assessment, I almost had a heart attack. I put a loaded gun to my head and I sat there for a few minutes. I was living inside a camper on his grandparents' property and I was going to blow my brains out. But then something came alive in me. some type of fire and some type of rage I never felt before. And that's when I decided to start this YouTube channel, which led to my other social media platforms. And I was going to wreck them. And I didn't care how long it was going to take. I was going to wreck them for what they did to me. Then I got featured on the U.S. Army WTF Moments. And he propelled my channel even further. And now I've got thousands of subscribers and 300,000+ views, which is crazy, just on YouTube alone. There's still more work to be done. And I'm not stopping. I told you guys before I decided to remain a civilian for a while. I'm making good money now. But I need you to know how much I struggle. I don't know how much longer I can handle myself. I don't know how much longer I can take this shit. Because you gotta remember something. I'm still there. I'm still in the barracks in 2024. I'm still there. And I can't not be there. And I try to be present, but I can't. And the VA has not been helping me. The VA doesn't give a shit about me. Just before this video, I canceled my psychiatry appointment. I just told them off. I just said, you people are government leeches and I fucking hate you all. The VA would rather me blow my brains out so they don't have to deal with me anymore. That's my opinion. If you guys want me to make a video about my experience with the VA, it's a lengthy story. I'll gladly put it out. Let me know in the comments below. But, this is my message to Dahlberg, England, now Hokanson, Emco, and Anthony. Dahlberg, you're a fucking bitch. You and I need to settle the score. You willingly spread rumors about me. I don't know what your relationship with Holcomb and them was, but I don't know why the fuck you had issues with me. You weren't even my squad leader. You come to a separation board like a high school kid saying he's weird, and that's why we need to be separated. Even the sergeant first class I talked to said, what the fuck's wrong with that guy? You can't just say that at a board. You have to... Being weird is not something you can be separated for. Seeing an NCO like you disgusts me, and you know what? I want to fight you. But I know you won't do it because you're a fucking bitch. Emco, you are a fucking pussy. The guy I just talked about, the message I read, he confronted you the way I confronted you. And just like that, like with me, you acted like a total bitch. You were probably looking at the ground and shaking. Dude, you're an embarrassment to your family in the United States Army. Put your retirement packet in and get out. You're pathetic, you're weak, and you're emotional. You don't belong, and you know it. Get out of the fucking Army. Taylor, you and I have a lot of history. Did you really think I was going to let you get away with it? And do you really think I'm just going to stop and move on? Like I fucking said, I'm still there, and I'm sick and fucking tired of being there. I'm sick and fucking tired of it. I don't know how much longer I can take it. I'm dedicating my time to destroying what's left of your career. And your life. I want to make sure that you have something holding you back for as long as you live. Something to prevent you from getting a job. Something to prevent you from succeeding in life. That's how much I fucking hate you. I hate you so goddamn much, you worthless fucking bitch. And I fucking hate your parents for fornicating and creating you. For that, I think they should be put up to a firing squad. However, that's neither here nor there. Anthony, you're a fucking pussy. You're a little bitch. You hid behind squad leaders to talk shit to me. You bullied me until I attempted suicide and made fun of it. You had no control of your emotions, and when I wanted to move companies, you decided to destroy my career because you knew it would make you look bad, because you knew you were a shitbag NCO. And instead of just improving, you took it out on me. You took it out on Hart. You drove him to suicide and got mad at me for helping him. You enjoy doing this shit. Like, dude, someone should call CPS and take your kids away, because you're not fit to be a father, and you're a fucking sociopath. And not to mention, you're like a female. I don't mean to sound sexist, but as men, we often equate some other men to females to insult him. And I'm sorry, but this dude is... You and Taylor are the same person. That's why you two got along. You two are the same type of female with the same personality disorder. There's no other way to fucking describe you. I hope your wife is actively cheating on you. And that's another thing too. You used your own family. I'll never forget. I commit more to this platoon than I do my own family. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? I have never heard a leader in the time I was in the military say that. You do the job and you don't expect an award. That's it. But you are such a lazy sleazeball shitbag that doing your job means that you're great at it. That's why you were kicked out of Ranger Bat. And that's why they rejected you when you tried to go back. But you blame the guy in Italy that reported you for drinking on duty. First of all, like the dude that reported me for me calling her a dumb bitch. I wasn't mad at him. I was just mad that he was saying the same things, but then reported me for it. You think you can get away with stuff, and that's exactly why. The only reason you got promoted was DEI. No one would ever promote a fucking shitbag like you. Do yourself a favor and just retire and get out of the army. You're a fucking plague and a fucking disease. And for context, no one is going to be attacked. I am not threatening anyone in any way. And what I mean by firing squad is, that's my opinion. That is not going to happen, obviously. But that is the dedication that I hate her so much, that I wish that I believe that her parents deserve death by firing squad for conceiving her, because she's that bad. That's an insult, not a threat. Just making that clear for the internet. That was my video, guys. More to come, but like I said, I don't know how much longer I can take this shit. And I'm fucking tired of it. I'm fucking tired of it every goddamn day. But we take it one day at a time, and we press on. 25-meter targets. Thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, share, and I'll see you in the next one.